Yes, day 51. Let's dive right in. If we're writing for an audience of one, the professor say our firm's supervising partner. We can choose how we wish to envision that person. Let's say your audience is Professor Starbird. You already know or think you know certain things about him, and it will probably pay you to keep them in mind. You need to envision Professor Starbird in a way that frees you to be the kind of person on paper that you want. Paper that you want and need to be if you're to write and think your best. In my own writing, I normally try to follow the same advice I'll be giving you later. A chapter of readability. In my writing, I normally try to follow the same advice I'll be giving you later in the chapter of readability. Envision my reader, no matter who it is, as a companionable friend with a warm sense of humor and a love for simple directness. That's how I'm envisioning you right now, but even if I'm wrong, you might become that way during this conversation. People often act as they're treated. And if even if you won't ever become my ideal reader, I still need you, or my image of you, to be that way. If I am to be the way I need to be in order to write it in a way that I can respect. Makes sense? Yeah. So he's saying that he's envisioning this I don't know if you can hear me. This my god, it's so uncomfortable. He imagines in a way, he imagines a reader in his own certain ways, as I've said yesterday. He envisions a certain image of the reader in his mind that because he needs the reader of this book. He needs to envision this certain image of the reader in order for him to write this book. Yeah. Free writer to zero draft. Now that your mind is properly primed, you're ready to try a rough draft. That very phrase, rough draft, draws a smile from me now. For I made a career in college of writing just one draft of everything. Wow. Smart man. That's gift. That really is. That's yeah, that's talented. He's talented in writing. I remember I had to do multiple drafts. Well, not even multiple, maybe like two. Until I'm like, okay, like screw this, this is enough. This is like very I don't know you. I don't even know why I'm even saying this. And to be honest, I should keep quiet about things like this. So let me just put on my glasses. This is not me saying it, all right? So I wish I knew a little bit more about what college was supposed to be, what college was for, why people go to colleges. Um, I was just not the brightest in terms of how we were supposed to live in a society, how we're supposed to what we're supposed to do, right? Like just the path of life, path of average, normal, sustainable life. I didn't recognize that, so I didn't do well in college because I never really took in the opportunity. I was dumb, essentially. That's why I probably didn't like college. Oh, I don't know why. I don't even know why I said this. It's weird. I think I was trying to connect my laziness and my unwillingness to do more than two drafts or to get just just overall to do well in college. I think that's my main point. Like my desire to do things, I guess. I don't know. But I never took a writing course either, or got assigned a book like this one, so I had to clear my own path through the woods. If you have time for 2 or 3 rough drafts, write them, of course. This book, in its original condition, is clear that somewhere I discovered the value of afterthoughts. But even if you have, but even if you don't have time for them, I recommend you at least make it. I recommend you at least make time for a zero draft. A zero draft in my term. A zero draft is my term for throwaway. A piece of free writing that allows you to warm up, get into the flow, work past your ambition, work past your inhibitions, bust through your writer's block, etc. This will take just 20 minutes. Surely you can afford that. Even for many pros, it's essential. Here's the ever honest and Lamont, beloved author of Bird by Bird. For me and most of the other writers I know, writing is not rapturous. In fact, the only way I can get anything written at all is to write really, really shitty first drafts. You'll get to hear more from Miss Lamont in chapter 7. Does rapturous mean? Oh, come on. Characterized by feeling or expressing great pleasure or enthusiasm. Rapturous. Writing is not rapturous. So masturbation is rapturous. Contemporary entertainment is rapturous. Sweet, overly sweet, salty foods are rapturous. Rapturous. Very pleasurable. And of course, you don't have to throw it away later. You just need to pretend that you will. Here's what you do. Take one last leisurely look at your 5 by 8 slips. Get a reasonably clear sense of what it is you think you want to say, then resolutely think you want to say, then resolutely put the slips out of sight and begin talking. And begin talking out your thoughts on paper you were as if you were explaining a concept to a friend. Imagine that it's me. Imagine I've just said to you. Now let me hear your understanding of it, and imagine you're replying. That's interesting. Alright, so let me share something. Never let yourself pause more than a second or two between sentences. Oh, this is about free writing, by the way. So the author is telling us that even if you get into a log jam, when you're writing, uh, so-called free drafts. So he coins the term free drafts as something that, as a form of writing, excuse me, not something, as a form of writing where it's meant to be thrown out. So it's like a warm up, essentially, before you. If I were to allude it to like sports, people usually warm out, right? They let's say for exercising, when you go to the gym, a lot of people do cardio as a warm-up exercise, right? To get their body going. Yeah, similar to that. So we're talking about free writing and how to essentially just let our thoughts pour into the paper and never censoring, never not pausing, and not censoring our thoughts. It has to be everything that we think of at the moment, like how I am practically talking to you guys right now. I'm talking without I'm not second thinking any of this. I'm just like literally just saying some shit. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, it's interesting because the reason why I'm also smiling a little bit is it's something that it's been a while since I went back to this book, and I think I will after reading this one, or maybe after this session. There's a book about how, oh, excuse me, not a book about, but I remember one quote from the other book saying, improvisation is the greatest form of art. Like what you're making. The book was about poetry. The book was about composing poetry, but I also make music, right? So I also think improvisation is probably one of the greatest. When something just comes at you spontaneously, it is literally you, in my opinion. I don't know. It's like what I'm doing right now. Like everything here, everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm saying to you, everything is improvised. None of it has been, like I didn't, before making this video, like I didn't sit down for 10-15 minutes and write down, oh, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for the 1 hour of reading today. It's what makes that person, in my opinion. And the moment you kind of commercialize it, make it into a contemporary piece, as in, oh, people may not like this, or the chorus has to come here, or the melodic line is too crude, something like that. I mean, I understand at that point because you're trying to make money, right? You're trying to commercialize it and reach, and it's not technically just for you, but it could be a commissioned work for a different form of artists. But anyways, yeah, let me read this paragraph. Oh, never let yourself pause more than a second or two between sentences, and don't censor your thoughts. Just let them come out as they want to. They're all tentative anyway. The key thing is to keep everything moving. After a bit of babble, you'll find yourself starting to make sense. Even then, of course, you can count on running into new mental logjams. But don't panic. Simply force your pen or your typing fingers to nakedly record all the confusion and inarticulateness you're feeling. For example, I seem to have stalled out here. The words don't want to come. Where on earth can I go with this point? One of three things will happen. The problem will gradually work itself out merely through the act of verbalizing it. You'll stumble on an important new insight, or you'll discover something about your argument that you need to know. For instance, that it doesn't hold up in its present shape. A final point, use your own voice, your own conversational idiom, not the puffed up language of academe. If you start reaching for the fancy language, you'll defeat the whole purpose of this warm-up exercise. This just, I remember this so well for college admissions. I don't know if high school kids or recent college college freshmen are watching this. But when I was doing my college, what was it called? I forget. There's general D. It was some. There was D. It was D something. But when I was doing my college admissions, I literally, this was so stupid of me, and I wish someone told me about this.
this was so what I did was I typed in like synonyms. I used synonyms to replace the word get, or what was it? I think, yeah, that's the one thing I remember right now. Get, like the word get, um, and starting sentences with transitions like furthermore, moreover, in all, and some bullshit. And it just made the writing, in my opinion. I wish I had them. I really wish I had them. I can't find my old laptop with which I used to write my old essays in. I think it was lost. I wish I had it because it's some bullshit, man. I wish I wish I could read them. Um, yeah, yeah. I wish I could read them actually. It's something about past that I don't want to dwell on, but I really wish I didn't move schools when I was in middle school. Yeah, it's because you know, during the summer of 2009, when I was a middle school student, um, my good we don't talk, um, but he was like a good friend of my good friend at the time, and he introduced me to this, and he gave me his like he like wrote a story about me. Um, I don't want to get too detailed into this, so I'm censoring myself at this point right now. So I'm just letting you guys know it's a private, personal life. So I hope you understand. Um, so, anyways, he wrote a story, and I remember being enchanted by it. I remember reading it literally, like I just read it. It was like 11, 12 pages, I think, and I read it in like I just couldn't stop it, and um, he wrote and it was a full, I think, eight and a half by 12, standard sheet, and the font was size was like 10 or something, in Times New Roman, I think. And can you guys imagine that? It's a lot of excuse me. That's a lot of words. 10, 11, 12 pages, and I remember being so enchanted by it that I just read and read. I read from the beginning to the end in the entire day. I think one afternoon, and I hated reading. Like I hated books at that time, but then I was so enchanted and so inspired by his creation that I remember thinking, "Hey, I want to write something like this. Like I want to write." Well, I didn't say I want. I didn't think I want to write, but I wanted to write similar to what he did, something that he did. So what I did was, um, I wrote on my computer. I wrote. I spent. So I had summer school from 8:30 to 11 o'clock, 11:30, and then I got back home around 12:30 ish. So from 12:30 to about 9 o'clock, for an entire week, I just wrote. Can you imagine a sixth grader doing that? Yeah, but that inspiration and that love just disappeared after I moved. I was severely just I was not happy. Yeah, I didn't. Like when someone experiences a traumatic event, or someone experiences a very sad moment in their lives, and I'm being so self-centered right now. I hate. But I'll because I shared the story. I'll finish it very abruptly. I'll finish it abruptly. It's I don't have any recollections of seventh grade. Like I actually don't remember a lot of it. I remember very little snippets of it, but I don't remember anything very important or very happy or anything like that from seventh grade. Can you imagine that for 1 year you don't have any happy memories of anything? A teenager. Jesus, it splashed on me. Oh yeah. But maybe I should start writing again. I'm reading this book because I'm trying to like understand what people are thinking. You know, because because I'm writing book and because I'm reading books, it's also I also thought it would be helpful to understand how people write, or how um, just writers' thought processes worked. And what better book is there than read something that a writer recommended, and it's a writer that you. I don't remember if he directly recommended it or it was from an interview, and the author and the interviewee, the interviewer mentioned the book, and then the interviewee, which is the author slash writer, agreed that it was a great book. So yeah. Anyways, that took a long time. Let me go back to reading. Critique your draft. Once you've finished, take a break. The longer the better, and then come back and read your draft critically. See whether you still like your thesis or even believe it anymore. Wait a minute, is this? So this is still regarding free writing, I think. Zero draft. Consider how you might enrich it. Enrich it. Determine which ideas have promise and which look extraneous or fuzzy. Extraneous. I mean, let me look it up. Irrelevant. Okay. Irrelevant or unrelated to the subject being dealt. Irrelevant. Which look extraneous or fuzzy. Ask yourself whether one of those ideas might be the embryo of a still stronger thesis than your original one. Ask yourself whether one of those ideas might be the embryo of a still stronger thesis than your original one. Determine which ideas have promise and which look extraneous or fuzzy. Ask yourself whether one of those ideas might be the embryo of a still stronger thesis than your original one. Underline phrases that please you. Try to find places in your argument that need further support. Then go back and ponder your 5x8 slips again. Check off points that you've made in the paper and underline points you need to incorporate. Mentally file them away for the next draft. Alright, well, that concludes day 51. I will see you guys on day 52. Oh. Bye bye.